What if I told you that everything you thought you knew about spirituality might be wrong? That the practices you've been told to follow, the beliefs you've held on to for years, could actually be holding you back? You've heard it all before. Meditate for hours to connect with your soul. Stay positive no matter what, or karma will punish you for every mistake. But what if those ideas are nothing more than myths holding you back? In this video, we're uncovering the 10 biggest spiritual myths that are secretly sabotaging your growth. And trust me, number 10 will completely change how you view spirituality forever. Stay with me until the end, because the final myth reveals a truth so shocking, it could transform your entire spiritual journey. Are you ready to discover the truth? Let's dive in. Myth number 1, you have to meditate for hours to be spiritual. Let's start with a myth that makes many people feel like spirituality is out of reach. The idea that you have to meditate for hours every day to connect with your soul or find inner peace. Sounds exhausting, right? But here's the truth. Spirituality isn't about how long you sit with your eyes closed. It's about the quality of those moments. Even a few minutes of mindfulness can create profound shifts in your life. A deep breath before starting your day or pausing to express gratitude can be just as transformative as a lengthy meditation retreat. But here's where it gets tricky. Once people embrace these small moments, they often fall into another trap. The belief that spirituality means being 100% positive all the time. Have you ever felt guilty for having a bad day or frustrated because you couldn't just be happy? If so, you're not alone. Let's uncover why this next myth is holding so many people back. Myth number 2, spirituality means being 100% positive all the time. Here's a myth that can be downright toxic. The idea that spirituality requires you to be positive all the time. Good vibes only, they say. But let me ask you this. How realistic is that? Life is full of ups and downs, and true spirituality isn't about denying the harder emotions. It's about embracing them. Anger, sadness, frustration. They're all part of the human experience, and trying to bury them only holds you back. Real spiritual growth happens when you face those emotions, learn from them, and use them as a stepping stone for transformation. Because here's the truth. Your spiritual path doesn't require perfection. It requires authenticity. And that brings us to our next myth, one that's been misunderstood for centuries. What if I told you karma isn't about punishment and reward at all? Let's dive into the truth about karma and why it's so much deeper than the eye for an eye story you've been told. Myth number 3, one of the most misunderstood spiritual concepts, karma. Most people think of karma as a cosmic eye for an eye, where the universe keeps a strict scorecard of every good or bad thing you do. But here's the truth. Karma isn't about punishment or reward. It's about learning and growth. Karma is more like planting seeds. The actions you take, the thoughts you hold, and the choices you make create a ripple effect, shaping the experiences that follow. It's not the universe getting back at you. It's the natural consequences of your own energy and decisions. And that's empowering because it means you have the ability to shift your karma at any time through conscious choices. But here's the thing, understanding karma isn't something that happens overnight. And that leads us to another myth, the belief that spiritual awakening strikes like a bolt of lightning. Let's explore why awakening is rarely an instant moment of clarity and is more often a journey of gradual, ongoing discovery. Myth number 4, spiritual awakening happens all at once. Let's address one of the most romanticized ideas about spirituality, the belief that awakening happens in a single, life-changing moment. You've probably heard stories of people experiencing sudden epiphanies or moments of enlightenment, and while those moments can be real, they're not the full picture for most people. The truth is, spiritual awakening is rarely a lightning strike. It's more like a sunrise. It unfolds slowly, layer by layer, as you peel back illusions, question old beliefs, and uncover deeper truths about yourself and the world. It's not a single event, but a journey, a process that takes time and intention. And that's exactly how it's meant to be. Every step, every stumble, every breakthrough is part of your growth. But here's the thing. As you step into this journey, another myth often creeps in. The idea that you need expensive tools, elaborate rituals, or exclusive retreats to be truly spiritual. Let's explore why this belief is just another distraction from the true essence of spirituality. Myth number 5, you need expensive tools and rituals to be spiritual. Have you ever felt like spirituality is only for those who can afford crystals, retreats, or elaborate rituals? It's a common myth, one that's reinforced by marketing messages everywhere. But here's the truth. Spirituality doesn't require a big budget. The most profound spiritual practices like mindfulness, gratitude, and self-reflection cost nothing at all. While tools and rituals can be helpful reminders or aids, they're not what make you spiritual. True spirituality comes from within. It's about how you show up in the world, the way you treat others, and the connection you nurture with yourself and the divine. But here's the trap. When we believe we need tools to be spiritual, it often feeds into another harmful myth, the idea that spirituality requires perfection. Let's dive into why embracing your flaws and imperfections is actually the key to deeper spiritual growth. Myth number 6, you have to be perfect to be spiritual. This next myth is one that holds so many people back. The idea that spirituality requires perfection. Maybe you've thought, if I make mistakes, how can I call myself spiritual? But let me tell you, perfection has nothing to do with it. True spirituality isn't about being flawless. It's about being authentic. It's about recognizing your humanity, embracing your imperfections, and using them as opportunities to grow. In fact, some of the most profound spiritual lessons come from the moments when we fall short. It's in those moments that we learn compassion, humility, and resilience. But here's where it gets tricky. For many, the pursuit of perfection isn't just about personal growth. It's tied to the belief that spirituality means rejecting material success. Let's talk about why this couldn't be further from the truth. Myth number 7, spiritual people must avoid material success. Here's a myth that's held so many people back. The belief that spirituality and material success can't coexist. Maybe you've been told that to be truly spiritual, you need to reject wealth, ambition, or even the idea of financial abundance. But let me ask you, how does denying abundance serve your spiritual journey? The truth is, spirituality isn't about what you own or don't own. It's about how you view those things and what you do with them. Material success, when approached with intention and purpose, can be a powerful tool for good. It can enable you to create positive change, support others, and live out your purpose in meaningful ways. Abundance isn't a barrier to spiritual growth. It can be a part of it. But this myth ties into an even bigger misconception. The idea that you have to isolate yourself or withdraw from the world to find God. Let's dive into why true spiritual growth doesn't require you to leave the world behind. It's something that can happen right in the middle of your everyday life. Myth number 8, you have to isolate yourself to find God. How often have you heard that to truly connect with God or deepen your spirituality, you need to isolate yourself, retreat from the world, and live in solitude? It's a tempting idea, isn't it? The thought of escaping the chaos and noise of daily life. But here's the truth. You don't have to leave the world to find God. In fact, some of the most profound spiritual growth happens in the middle of life's messiness. It's in your relationships, your struggles, and your small daily acts of kindness that you connect with the divine. Solitude can be a helpful tool, but it's not the only path to spiritual awakening. Spirituality isn't about running away from life. It's about being fully present in it. But here's where it gets even more interesting. Many people believe that all spiritual paths lead to the same destination. But is that really true? Let's uncover the deeper truth behind this next myth. Myth number 9, all spiritual paths lead to the same destination. This next myth is one that sounds comforting at first. The belief that all spiritual paths lead to the same destination. It's a beautiful idea, and in some ways, there's truth to it. Many paths share similar teachings about love, compassion, and self-discovery. But here's the catch. Every path is unique, and not all lead to the same understanding or experience of the divine. Your spiritual journey is deeply personal, shaped by your choices, your beliefs, and the truths you uncover along the way. While we can learn from every tradition, spirituality isn't about blindly following a single road. It's about walking the path that resonates with your soul and helps you grow. And that brings us to the most shocking myth of all, the one that has kept countless people stuck, afraid to explore spirituality on their own terms. What if I told you that you don't need religion to connect with God? Stay with me, because this truth might completely change the way you see spirituality forever. Myth number 10, you must follow a religion to be spiritual. And now, the most shocking myth of all, the belief that you must follow a religion to connect with God. For centuries, this idea has been deeply ingrained in cultures and communities around the world. It's the foundation of countless teachings and traditions. But what if I told you that connecting with God doesn't require a denomination, doctrine, or dogma? The truth is, God is far bigger than religion. The divine is not confined to a building, a book, or a set of rules. God is within you, within all of us. Spirituality is about finding that connection in your own way, not about following someone else's map. You don't need a middleman to access the divine. You don't need to fit into a system that doesn't resonate with you. This is your journey. You have the freedom to seek, to question, and to discover what spirituality means to you. So, there you have it, the top 10 spiritual myths that may have been keeping you stuck. My hope is that this video has helped you see that spirituality isn't about rules, perfection, or external validation. It's about authenticity, growth, and finding your unique connection with the divine. If this video resonated with you, be sure to like and subscribe to the channel. I dive deep into topics like this every week, helping you uncover the hidden truths about spirituality and your personal path. And now I want to hear from you. What myths have you encountered on your spiritual journey? Drop them in the comments below and let's keep this conversation going. Thank you for watching, and remember, the answers you're searching for are already within you. Until next time, stay curious and keep seeking.